Tonight, there are currently three so-called scandals in play: the IRS, federal snooping on reporters, and the assassination of Libyan Ambassador Christopher Stevens. With us now to discuss those situations, a former Republican vice presidential candidate, Congressman Paul Ryan. Start with the IRS, because you're on the House Ways and Means Committee, so you're going to be investigating this.
Yes, that's right.
All right, what's going to happen going forward? Okay,
there are four things we know right now. Number one, we know that they targeted people based on their political beliefs, not just Tea Party groups, but religious groups as well, that were conservative in nature. Number two, we know that they were intimidating and harassing donors to these conservative groups. Number three, we know that the IRS leaked sensitive taxpayer information, which was then used publicly to harass donors. And number four, we already know that the IRS misled Congress.
All right, but you don't know who exactly did it.
Our investigators started last week in interviewing and doing depositions. So our investigators started interviewing low-level IRS employees. We're working our way through the system, and we're starting to get the documents. We've requested thousands and thousands of documents, which are now starting to come into the Ways and Means Committee, and we're starting to.
So they have to give you those documents.
They have to give us. We can subpoena them if they don't.
Right.
So we will get those documents.
But if they defy you, I think people need to know the parameters. Number one, if they lie to your committee, that's a federal crime.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Number two, if they don't hand over, they being the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, the documents that you want, that's a crime. Right.
And we'll subpoena them in that case if they don't.
Okay, but when you say we'll subpoena them, they can say, well, we're not going to do it anyway. That's happened before. Then they can be charged with a crime.
That's correct.
Okay. So you have a criminal capability here.
That's right.
Now, you're thoroughly convinced this is just not a Cincinnati deal or a couple of rogue IRS people going.
No, that's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that it's more systematic than that.
So you got to find out whether it was just contained in the IRS, all right, and this Lois Lerner, she's a big player here, and she's gone, or it was ordered from the White House. I mean, basically, that's what you got to find out.
Yeah, we don't know the answer to that, so we're going to let the facts take us there. We're not going to speculate.
As you should.
We're going to do our job.
Right.
The legislative branch overseeing the executive branch. This is an arrogant abuse of power. It's really quite
by somebody.
But by somebody,
right.
by the IRS for sure. The question is what we do not know and what this investigation will bear out, and that's why we're interviewing all of these various IRS employees, getting the documents. The IG is now doing an investigation. They did an audit.
Right.
Now they're doing an investigation.
That's the Inspector General. Now, Lois Lerner, you know her. She's the one who took the fifth.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So if you give her immunity, your House Ways community, and say, look, Ms. Lerner, we're giving you immunity. You can't be prosecuted. She then has to testify in front of you. Has to. Compelled by law to, correct? Am I right?
Well, therefore, there's no reason to take the fifth.
Well, no, but if she says, I'm still not going to testify, couldn't you charge her with something?
I think that's the case. That's right.
Right.
But here's the point.
That's what you should do. Just get her, give her immunity.
We have a lot of people telling us, do the investigation this way, do the investigation that way.
But nobody as smart as me.
I appreciate that.
And Kelly is going to agree with me right behind you. All right, okay. But you can squeeze.
We're doing this methodically. We're doing this the right way. This is not a partisan witch hunt. This is get to the facts, get to the truth.
You have to.
And follow the facts. And that's why we're taking this investigation extremely seriously. We're merging two different committees to do this.
How long is this all going to take?
It's going to take months.
All right. So the rest of 2013, you're probably
I don't want to put an end date because I don't know where the facts will take us.
Holder, you want him to quit? Should he quit?
Yeah, look, Jim Sensenbrenner, who is a close friend of mine, one of the giants in the legal community, a member of the Judiciary Committee, called for his resignation yesterday.
And so did you after Fast Furious.
And so, look, I think when a legal giant like Jim Sensenbrenner, who knows this agency extremely well, says this man has gone beyond the pale of his office, I agree with that.
All right. So you think he's going to resign? I mean,
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, Axelrod said over the weekend, I mean, that's speaking for the president.
Yeah, I have no idea if he's going to resign or not. Look, we think what his testimony was before the judiciary contradicted the actions he made, just like the testimony of the acting commissioner of the IRS contradicted what we now know he knew at the time. So we see two instances here where people from the administration came and misled Congress.
Issa, Darrell Issa, another congressman, you know him, is subpoenaing all the documents from the State Department to try to find out about Benghazi.
That's right.
Right? That's a smart play because Kerry's got to hand them over, right?
That's right. That's right. So you know the story of Benghazi. Most Americans now know the story, which is they knew right away because the number two man in charge, Gregory Hicks, said that this was a terrorist attack. This had nothing to do with a video.
But they didn't believe Hicks.
Yet they pushed this story for days and weeks. And the question is, who made those decisions? Who made those decisions to mislead the country on these issues? And that's what we have to get to the bottom of.
Well, the night of the assassination, and the three other Americans were killed as well, President Obama called Hillary Clinton at night.
Right.
We need to know what that conversation was.
That's what an investigation is all about. That's what congressional investigators are doing. That's what the document.
I don't know you'll ever get that though, because that's they're not going to.
Well, there's a point at which they might invoke privilege, and then we're going to have a big debate about that.
Right. Do you see this damaging President Obama so that the Republican Party will take control of Congress in 2014?
Bill, it's just way too premature to make a comment
because
like that.
This is the low point of the Obama administration.
The point is, this is an arrogant abuse of power. You know, one of the problems Mitt Romney and I had in the last election was we were debating against big government in theory. We had to compete against the promise and the rhetoric of President Obama. Well, now in the second term, now that he's implementing his agenda, we're seeing big government in practice. Okay, but the bigger problem that you and the governor had was you were not only campaigning against Barack Obama, but the American press. Except for Bill O'Reilly and Fox Well,
we're fair here, and I think you know that.
No,
I mean, we don't.
No, I'm just having fun with it.
But now the press may be turning. Have you noticed that?
I think when you see the James Rosen case, the AP case, the press understands the First Amendment extremely well, and I think they take that one extremely seriously. And you just can't hide from the fact that this IRS abuse is arrogant and obnoxious. The question is, dangerous. Who knew about it? How systemic and how widespread was it? And this is an abuse of power. Will you keep the factor posted here? Absolutely. All right. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for coming in.